You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
We are back. The dream team is back in effect.
Hold on, what's happening?
We got the bench warmers out the way. The A team is in effect.
I got the A team back here.
The A team in the building. It's the Fourcast with the stars of the show.
Yeah,
myself,
man.
B, my man, Wilkes. We take it over the universe 1 week at a time. This is the Fourcast where we review films, documentaries, comedy specials, or whatever's going on in the community. We cover it. And from a unique perspective, tonight we will be reviewing the comedy special by he's not even a new, he's comedic all-star Ali Siddiq. He came to prominence with a Mexican special called Boots. So Mexicans Have On Boots. That's actually not even the name of it, but that's what people affectionately know it by. Mexicans Have On Boots. He is unique in his approach. He's one of the greatest storytellers. You know, Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor begot Red Fox. Red Fox begot Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor begot Eddie Murphy. This guy, I would say, Bill Cosby, and then Ali Siddiq, two of the greatest storytellers in all of comedy. He is a comedic genius in the best form. How you doing, Wilkes, before we get everything started?
Man, I'm doing good, and I was just thinking about what you were saying, his storytelling, and and the comedy that I've seen from Bill Cosby, just sitting in a chair and telling a story. But yes, definitely great. I mean, I'm doing good. Monday was nice, and so ready to jump into this one because, like you said, the storytelling that I was like envisioning it, like you could just the way he was talking, you could see the gated community, you could see him driving over to the hood, you could just see those things. He was very vivid with his descriptions and storytelling. So
indeed. Yeah. He is truly a comedic treasure. Before we get started, this is BS3. And it's a simulcast BS3 in the End of the Bench Media. Please, if you're watching on Facebook, hit like, hit share, tell a friend to tap in. Same thing on the End of the Bench Media. Thank you for tapping in. It's important that you do so. Thank you and welcome aboard, Rated Kev. It's good to see you. Thank you, Rated Kev, as usual, one of our number one supporters. Now, Ali Siddiq is a unique individual. He is an individual who shows you that no matter what happens to you, success is determined by you. There are no failures in life. He went from being, as he would say, an independent street pharmaceutical salesperson to changing his life. Independent penitentiary. He's taken everything that's about him and inverted it into comedy. And he is one of the true geniuses of comedy. Before we were in the pre-show fist fight, you were talking about you didn't even know who he was before. Yeah. Talk to me about what you've discovered and how you appreciate what's going on with him.
I didn't even know the name looked familiar, but I really could not place his face, and I had not heard of him before this. But ever since now, my YouTube algorithm has kept him in stride, if you will. So I click on a few of them. I think he's had an interview with the Shay Club Shay or something like that. I think he was on there. And I'm definitely going to go back and watch some of his other things. And, of course, if he drops something else, I'll be inclined to watch that. I would love to give him that support because I really enjoyed this. I mean, like I said, the storytelling was amazing. I mean, I could see the kids as he was describing them, one's coming out of the bedroom and coming down the stairs, just that banter between your kids, But, this was good. I really appreciated this. I didn't, honestly – like I said, I'm not the comedic guy, so I was just like, oh, gosh, is this going to be worth my time? This is going to be funny. But it's not really, I guess, always about being ha-ha, leaning over the seat, So it was definitely him just dropping those tidbits, because it was just like, he even wove in like, I make sure my children have everything they need, but I'm also going to give them tough love at the same time.
Exactly.
So, yeah, no, definitely, it was good. It was good. I enjoyed it. I'll definitely be looking at some other of his stand-up.
Yeah, and tonight I'm gonna do it a little different. It's usually four of us: myself, my man Wilkes, Ben from BS3, the creator of BS3, and the co-proprietor of BS3, Ivan Dawkins. We call him Dawk. Now, what we're gonna do, instead of having our traditional forum, what I'm gonna do is introduce you to Ali Siddiq in video form. What we'll do is put a couple of his clips up, and what I'll do is let the clips speak for themselves, and then we'll come back and talk about it. This is a guy, the name of this special is My Two Sons, and he's walking us through the life of raising an adult child and having a younger child and the personalities that go along with it. What were you about to say, Wilkes?
Oh, no, that's what I was just like, he took you through the stages of how each kid was different in their own right. And he knows them in and out. So, it's definitely, it was very vivid the way he was speaking on this.
Exactly. This reminds me of Bill Cosby himself from the 1980 special, Bill Cosby himself. Here go the first video clip, and we'll be back to talk about it.
The crazy part of this, man, I have two sons. I have two sons, right? I have my old son and my new son. No, they totally different. They different. One son, I can give a kidney to. One son, I'm gonna have to buy one for. Okay, so Trey is different. He's the old one, and my new son Hassan is way better than Trey. He is so much better than Trey. Like, his name is Hassan, which means beautiful. He's a beautiful boy. Now, and he has a very beautiful spirit, because Hassan is different. Trey is raised in the same neighborhood I'm from, so he's a little rough around the edges. Okay, and he's different. He's very different. He is. I don't even understand him. No, let me tell you how different he is, because he's broke. That's one thing. He's broke, man. Okay, he's broke.
Well, actually, without the choppy video, it's giving you a peek of who these characters, his two sons are. Yeah. People are tempting to say, without the choppy internet, Trey is is his junior, because he is the third. He's junior. Right. He's the third. And Hassan is his younger son, who's age 13. And Hassan is bougie, and Trey is semi-hood. And he walks you through the beauty of Trey and Hassan. What were the things that you noticed about Trey and Hassan that really made you embrace this comedy special?
Hassan, as we say, he was the man of culture, if you would. He wanted things to be on this cloud nine, and this is the way things should flow, and everything has a place and order, and this sounds invigorating, and I want to be a part of this. And Trey, on the other hand, like you said, is kind of like, man, I don't have time for that. I'm trying to do my thing. I'm trying to, stand on my own feet. I don't want no handouts. I don't want nothing you trying to give me. But then his dad's like, but Trey, you don't have it all together. You don't.
Exactly.
You can't even stack dominoes first. I mean, you can't. It's like, what are you talking about right now? Do you hear yourself right now, man? You're not even working. You're not even holding a job. You have a CDL. What are you doing? So it was one of those things where you could definitely two ends of the spectrum. So pretty crazy.
Exactly. Man, the beautiful part about Trey and Hassan is you can see where he had them in two phases of his life. He said Trey is 30. And I changed it so it won't be so choppy on the next video that I show. Trey is a person who he had at a very young age, and Trey was part of the struggle. Hassan on the other end, as he said, I apologize for the choppy video. Trey Hassan is bougie. He like, look, man, I come from a gated community.
Exactly.
Keep it real stuff. You can
yeah.
And I apologize for the choppy video, and I'm uploading it on a different way. So hopefully this next video will come off a whole lot better, and it lets you know who he's raising, who he's dealing with, and it opens the door to, as you said, Trey trying to be his own man and try to do his own thing, and it leads to that parental, man thing. As men, we identify that with that. Our sons and we will always challenge.
Because they're looking at you and they want to be able. Then I know you did it this way, but I want to do it this way, and it's just like, it's not going to end the way you want it. But yeah, oh, trust me, my son will be 21 next month. I already know.
Hey, with that being said, this leads. We're gonna walk you up to the fight that him and Trey had. Not a punch fight. He parented him, and both of them are boxers. And here's a peek into Trey, the boxer, challenging his dad.
So he leave out. I call the coach of the gym. I say, hey, coach. He say, what's going on, Ali? I say, man, I need you to do me a favor. He say, what you got? I said, man, get that ring ready for me. He said, what did happen? I said, man, Simba has challenged Mufasa. And I'm coming down there. Now, my son, he don't know how bad this gonna be. And I done told him before, hey son, you know your boxing skills don't transfer over to me. They don't. I've told my son several times, son, you have what they call regular male strength. Regular. I have what they call father strength, son, that won't allow me to lose to you. I don't know how much you know about the Marvin Gaye story, but we don't lose. Marvin daddy told him to, nigga, you about to hear through the grapevine. Nigga, he told him. I get to the gym, and my son.
And that's exactly what it is. It's your son. He took the beauty in his comedy is he's taking old school parenting and mixing it with new school parenting. You know, people are getting away from corporal punishment. And he said, okay, we don't have to fight. We can compete. I can show you that I'm your father.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I can show you about this experience that me and you had, which made it even better. And let me know what you thought about that section.
Oh, no, that took me back to some family reunions. That took me back to some family functions. You know, as my grandfather said, you're starting to smell yourself, but don't let it fool you, because I still got it. You know, I still put you in your place. You know, you getting young and sassy. Can't nobody tell you what you're doing. But, you know, it's one of those things where you got to put him in his place. You're stepping into this ring. This is what you're going to get.
Exactly.
You want to buck up, puff your chest out? Okay, cool. Okay. I don't have to drag you down into a literal fist fight. I don't have to, you know, take your keys from your car and all that. It's one of those things where it's just like, I'm going to have to put you back in your place, man. But put you back in your place with love, but also with some stern lessons behind that love.
Exactly. And the beauty in it is I get to show you that I'm physically superior to you. I'm mentally superior to you. Yeah. And you don't even get belittled because you had the chance to put your best foot forward. Man, this dude, as my man, Armstrong Landon said, this guy is on fire and love his stand-up Cadillac. Yeah, I don't get the Cadillac part, but hey,
he coasted. He's smooth.
Oh, he's talking to you. You Cadillac.
No, he probably like because he coasted. He's smooth. Yeah.
Okay, my man. As my grandmama say, learn me. Yeah, man. But it's beautiful the way he sets up the story. As you stated, he brings you into the story. This is what I call true comedic genius. I'm going to take a situation that I'm living in.
Yep.
I'm going to pull you into that situation. I'm going to make it relatable, and I'm going to make it funny simultaneously.
Yep.
And, you know, a lot of comedians today, it's a curse fest. It's a profanities fest. It's an observation fest. But the crowd isn't into it, because what happens when it's an observation from a communal standpoint? You've lost a portion of the crowd.
Right.
Every man in that audience, he even referenced at one point, I know y'all, when him and his son went at it arguing about doing chores, he said, I know every black man in here thinking, why you ain't just whoop him? He said, nah, you ain't got to just whoop him. And every man been there. I can remember, it took me back to me and my son. When me and BJ, I just put the strength on him. I ain't beat him down. Let him know, hey.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. My son, I mean, my son's tried it. My daughter tries her mom. I mean, you just be like, look, we're not going to do that. Now, I don't let you go out there a little bit on the edge, but don't go too far now, because I'm going to have to reel you back in. Man. Oh, hey, calm down now.
Calm down. Let me learn you. And you know, people think because you get up and go to work every day, you ain't doing a whole lot of physicality. And I remember recently, I shocked my daughter, because I'm healing from a back injury, and I do work on my daughter from time to time. And she was like, well, we got to push it over here. And she looked at me like, your back hurt. How you going to do it? And I just moved the car. And I stood up. I said, we good. And I knew what I was doing. But she didn't know what I was doing. And she looked like, you can move a car by yourself. I was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, we good. And then I went and finished fixing on the car. Right. And to let her know, hey,
I got you. Yeah.
My back hurt. I still got it.
Right. It ain't left me.
I still got that. And that's the beauty in being a father. That is truly the beauty in being a father, man. And it's like, hey, I don't have to deal with none of this.
Right. Yeah, we're gonna slow this up right now.
Exactly, man. Exactly. And man, again, I love the way he takes you on the ride. I love the way he takes you, it puts you in a position to whereas you know who I am. Everybody can relate. Basically, I'm gonna take you on a trip. I'm going to take you on a trip. And the trip was wonderful. And I enjoyed the trip. And if anybody who's just tapping in, this is Ali Siddiq's My Two Sons that came out Mother's Day. Shout out to the Ali Siddiq fans, because he has over 3 billion views on this in a month.
That's crazy.
That's indeed. And
crazy.
This actually does something for BS3, for the End of the Bench, for the Fourcast, and anybody else who's podcasting, because it lets you know, hey man, if you're putting out quality work, then people will tap in and support you on any and every level. I've seen him in Chicago. Even one of our hosts, Dog, he has mentioned it, and he's mentioned going to see him, and I can't wait to go see him live. Here's another clip 3, and we'll be back shortly. Clip.
It's supposed to be all right. I get home. And I hear him upstairs talking to somebody on the phone. Very familiar voice. Did this nigga call my mama? This nigga called my mama. This nigga called his grandmama on me. And you know, grandparents, y'all ain't shit. Boy, grandparents don't want nobody, especially you, to do nothing to their grandbaby. I'm talking about the same shit that they did to you. They don't want you to do that, okay? My mama, and my son on the phone with my mama, and he got my mama on FaceTime. You know why he got on FaceTime? Because he got a goddamn may not above his eye. Yeah, it may go down, and it may not. Okay. And he got the phone right on the eye. Not on the healthy side of his face, he got the phone right on the eye. And he is a liar. My mama say, baby, what happened in your face? Daddy hit me in the face. No context, no use.
And that is what, hey, talk to him. Tell him what's going on.
Hey, trust me. I had to hear it at Thanksgiving. My son has a motorcycle. Well, he had a little accident, and my family was telling. Well, he had an accident before Christmas, but he was there on Thanksgiving. We went to my aunt's, and it's just like, I let him know. I was like, hey, your uncle gonna tell you. He had a motorcycle, and my uncle was telling him, hey, Andre, you just gotta keep the what if in the back of your mind. The what if, and then of course my uncle's like, he's just like you, Dave. I was like, oh Lord. So here we go. He's like, he wants to go fast. You like going fast. You went fast all your life, and now he wants something to go fast. I was like, and my uncle was just like, it's like he's just like you. So they already know how to pull you back in because they get you through the offsprings, and then they try to remind you of, wait a minute now, hey, don't be too hard on him, because I remember when you was coming up, and we had to tell you these things too, or these things happen to you, and they bring those things to your recollection. So seeing that, and then having him, having his mom on the phone or grandmother on the phone, it was just one of those things where it's like, I had to go through that thing during Thanksgiving. I had to go through that thing. Now my son is like, oh, okay, well, I see where I get it from, that kind of thing, and it's just it was hilarious just listening to it, because you know how grandparents are. It's always, oh, come here, baby, oh, baby. So don't be hitting on my grandbaby like that. Don't be talking about grandma. It's like, oh, come on now. Like, wait a minute. But you put the fear of God in us. He about to kill us in the middle of the night. We don't get this dick.
Man.
You about to kill us. So it's definitely one of those things where they step in and come to the rescue. Next thing you know, they don't tell your daddy I gave you that kind of thing. I'm just like, oh, where you get that from? Yeah, exactly.
Exactly, man. This is why I compared him to Bill Cosby, because we used to see this on the Cosby Show when when Heathcliff Huxtable's dad would come over, and Theo got his ear pierced.
Yeah.
And then the dad started clowning Cliff. Yeah. And the grandma came in and said, remember you had that comp and lost all your hair with me, and he was embarrassed. It's the beauty of family, and this is why I love
he wants to cut it off real quick, talking about, oh, wait, we're not talking about me, but yes, we are talking about, because how quickly we forget. You had some things that we had to deal with and correct, or call us in the middle of the night, hey, can you come pick? Because you were somewhere you wasn't supposed to be, and it was one of those things where it's like, I remember you doing the same thing. This ain't new.
And like Ray the Kale say, your kids telling your grandkids these ain't the people. I remember before my mom passed, me and my son would go over there and hang out with my mom, and both my children, hey, I'm gonna stay with grandma. Even my nieces and nephew, I'm gonna stay with grandma. And I used to literally tell my mother, grandma ain't nothing but a synonym for old lady trying to get into heaven. You're like, yeah, whatever. Yeah. And my daughter, I remember, get this, my daughter taught me what the word charcuterie was. She was like, I was like, so what y'all do at grandma's house? She was like, well, she put me in the bathtub, she gave me a bath, and then she was cleaning up the house. I'm like, she was cleaning up the house, huh? She cleaned up.
You weren't cleaning up the house? Yeah.
And I was like, and then she would close the door and clean up the house, and then she would come back, and she made me a charcuterie tray. I was like, what? I said, what is that? The fruit and the vegetable and the cheese. I'm like, Bria, you eat cheese? Bria don't eat cheese at my house. I don't know cheese on that. I don't know cheese. Cheese is nasty. Hold it. You eat cheese at grandma's house? Yeah, she got different cheeses and crackers and grapes and strawberries.
Wow, who is this?
It's called charcuterie. I'm like,
yeah.
She said, grandma never gave you charcuterie? I was like, no, she gave me cheese, crackers, and fruit, but she never gave me charcuterie.
On a paper plate.
It wasn't no tray, and I didn't have no counters on.
You didn't have different honeys and mustards.
Exactly. I'm like, what charcuterie?
Like, what is this?
And man, I'm like, okay, she's charcuterie.
Right. This is what we do.
For me, when I was a kid, my kids get charcuterie.
Right. Exactly. I'm getting folded bologna.
Right. Fried used to bologna. Fried.
Right. Fried. You want it fried or not?
Right. It's just, man, that's the beauty of this. And and the beauty is this is why I call him the Bill Cosby of this generation, because I can remember telling my kids, boy, you couldn't last at your grandmother's house.
That's what I'm saying. That's
like, boy.
Where, and then it's like, where is all that at? So it's like, man, it was almost like I'm raised in a militant-minded parent setting kind of thing. But your kids go over, your babies go over there. The grandkids come over, and it's like, who is this? what happened? Like, he's solving that? I was like,
what?
Yeah,
man, it was insane, man. And all my nieces and nephews and my children, they thought my mother. We think our parents walk on water, but they think the water jumps out our parents' way. And they just float. No. My grandma's shoes don't even get wet. She don't walk on water.
Right.
The water moves, so the ground dries, so the feet won't get mud on it.
Exactly. Yeah, man.
And when he called his grandmother, it took me back to one day we were sitting in my living room. It was me, my mom, and my son. And my mother told BJ, I don't even remember what it was. She said, BJ, go do this for me. And he was like, my dad won't let me do that. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm confused. I'm like what? Do it. And he was like, no, my dad said I can't do that. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, well, I respect the fact that you honor this.
Right.
Do what my damn mama said. I said, and she said, BJ, I tell your daddy what to do. And he looked at me. He was like, and she said, BJ, I'm his mom.
Right.
And bro, that's the moment in my life I wish I had a video camera.
Yeah.
Because my children never understood, up until that moment, they never understood grandma.
Right.
His mother.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
He looked at me and he said, that's your mama? I said,
yeah.
That's my mama.
Exactly. Yeah, I know.
He said, grandma, you my daddy's mama?
Yeah.
She was like, yeah. He said, just a minute. He runs upstairs and I hear him say, Bria, grandma is daddy's mama. And they both run downstairs. You my daddy's mama?
Of course.
And she was like, yeah.
They just thinking it's some lady, some relative that.
They looked at me like, next time you yell at me, I'm
like, yo, you gonna get it.
Yeah, you getting it.
Yeah, you gonna get it.
Whatever she asked him to do, he went and did it and kind of smiled at me like,
oh, I've had my 12-year-old daughter talk about, oh, I'm gonna call Mimi Rowe. That's what she calls her grandma, my mom. She's like, she gonna pop your butt. I was like, go, excuse me? Pop my butt? Oh, what? I was like, girl, you don't get out of here.
Man, it's crazy. And when he said, it's
crazy, man,
grandma, he punched me in the face. Not I challenge, I refuse to do chores.
Yeah.
Not I challenged him to a boxing match.
Because like you said, they look at the parent, like direct the parent as if there's no higher hierarchy over that person. So when they figure out, oh, wait a minute, your dad's still living? Oh, wait a minute, your mom still living? So this who you answer to.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna jump rank the next time you get out of line.
Man, it was insane. And to hear that, that's why, man, this dude, and the next clip is something I call pure comedy. This is, you got joke tellers who are very good. They make you laugh. Like you said, it ain't always about gut busting laughter.
Right.
You tell great stories. And you got people who do crowd work. This one is crowd work at its finest. This is why this guy is the man. I hope I did. Load it? I think I loaded it. 1 second. I hope I did.
Hold on, y'all. Go ahead. Go ahead. No, I'm gonna finish in a minute, but wait. You gotta understand, I've been watching this for 20 minutes. I've been watching this for 20 minutes, right? And in the last recording in DC, a lady peed on herself and we couldn't use the seat no more. But that, and look, this, but man, brother. Man, the brother sitting there looking, oh, hold on, nigga, I'm all done. You know, just hold tight. That girl sitting there. And he in there, you better not pee on your goddamn son. And she looking at me, I'm like, what? She like, and he's like, get the. You strong, brother. Lord have mercy.
Definitely crowd work. Definitely.
Excellent crowd work, man.
Oh,
See,
yes.
a lot of comedians, you know, you got some comedians like Shula King. He tells great jokes, but he also works the hell out the crowd. You got people like Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor who will get you involved in the story and will just immerse you into the joke.
Yeah, because that was the running, well, not the running thing, but that's the thing I've always heard from or watched was just crowd work. That was always, you know, you used to hear, well, don't sit on that front row because they're going to get you. You know, anything. That was the staple for any kind of comedy show or anything like that. It was just, so that crowd work is definitely key. And I think it's also a moment of where, you know, I wrote this material, but this is where I incorporate the audience into what I'm about to sew in or sew back. Because I always love it when they start off with something earlier in the set. And by the end of that set, they've already sewn in the beginning of the comedy routine, and it's back into the story. And it's just because your mind may have forgotten about it, but you're just like, oh, he painted a picture or he threaded that together. So it was definitely one of those things where the crowd work is definitely essential. It's A1.
Yeah, man. This is the difference in a joke teller and a comedian. You're like, this is what I truly love about comedy. This is why I love comedy and I tie it into hip hop culture because you got a lot of guys who can rap.
Right.
A bunch of words, and it's flow, and man, that's dope. And then you got people who can rock the crowd. Hola, hola, hola. You know, you got people who engage, but it is a special individual.
Absolutely.
And incorporate what I'm telling you, what I'm talking about, make it familiar with your life, and then what I'm gonna do is stop what I'm doing, see what's going on in this crowd, and then while we work in this crowd, we are going to we're gonna work this crowd, and then as we work this crowd, I'm gonna stop what I'm doing, put a comment on this, and get the whole building involved. Have you laughing at yourself? Bernie Mac was good at that. Such is good at that. Eddie Murphy is good at that. That's what comedy is. This is not, like you said, you walked away from comedy because I'm assuming, and you correct me if I'm wrong, subconsciously, you was like, who gonna compete with Red Fox? Who gonna compete with Eddie Murphy?
Right.
George Carlin.
Exactly. Yeah. And I know there's great ones out there. I know there's plenty of them that I've missed. I've just never really just kept up with that lane as much as anything else. That's why I didn't recognize this gentleman, but you know, shame on me. But it was just one of those things where I know comedy is a realm that exists, but for some reason I just did not latch on to stand-up comedy like I should have. But I watch it. It's just I couldn't tell you anybody's, not too many people's work, but yeah. So no, I'll definitely be watching some more of this.
Yeah, man. And like Ray the Kid said, he loved when people do crowd work, and a lot of people try to do crowd work, and it's just not funny. This dude, he has mastered every aspect of comedy. Again, it goes back to just like with hip hop. You got spitters,
Yeah.
You got people who can make, you got people like Sir Mix-a-Lot. I can Baby Got Back, Put Them on the Glass,
Right.
Costume on Broadway. These are hot songs. But like KRS-One said, you can write a song, but can your career, will your career last long? A lot of people will, Bill Bellamy is another comedian that he's a true comedian because he had a catchphrase that shot him to the top, put him in the movies. But people don't realize Bill Bellamy's still out there telling hella jokes, still super funny, still super engaging. And this is when you can rock the house, this is what makes you a comedian.
That's what, and I think that's why when I can't remember the one with Whoopi Goldberg and Robin Williams, but my point is that's
a fundraiser every year.
I know it's like a fundraiser. Yeah, I can't think of the name of it, but that's kind of like why HBO always had Chris Rock in their back pocket. Because they knew Chris Rock was going to be that comedic lightning rod that people want. Oh, he's got another stand-up on HBO. Got to watch it. Chris Rock, because he's going to tell those stories. I think Chris Rock tells stories. I think he does. I think he does very well at that. That's why those storytellers, like I said, it's not always gut busting and falling out your seat, but you'll get to that moment and have those moments. But I think because of that lane that Chris Rock is in, especially in the late 90s, early 2000s, and all those different specials on HBO. I mean, they do. It's like they're gonna draw. He's gonna draw. Comic relief. Yeah, it was Robin Williams, Billy Crystal, and Whoopi Goldberg.
Yes, indeed.
They knew what audience was gonna be drawn to that because you've got those three heavy hitters right now making movies, doing stand up, hosting award shows, on sitcoms. They making special appearances. They already knew what cards to play, and they definitely gonna tell some stories in that comedic relief.
Comic relief was one of the most ingenious situations possible. This is back when the world was a better place, and I'm not saying that because that was my lifetime. That was 1986. I was 16. I wasn't old enough to know the world was a better place. And the reason I say the world was a better place, not because it was my time. No, we actually gave a damn about each other back then.
Yeah.
The rugged individualism hadn't taken over. 2 years later, the movie Wall Street came out. He who dies with the most toys win. We adopted that foolish mentality.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Wall Street pretty much. Greed is good. Greed is good.
And it's never gonna be good. But we falling into the trap. And the comedy is the last bastion of entertainment that could save us.
Yeah.
Because comedians hold up that mirror. Yeah. Either it's like Medusa. You're gonna turn to stone or you're gonna soften and understand. And that's why I love comedy. That's why I love hip hop. They are intertwined. But see, the beauty in comedy is you can suppress good hip hop, D1, Pharoah Monch, and others because they're talking about uplifting the community. Chuck D, you can put them in the background. You can't suppress comedy.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. It's gonna bleed over into everything. Comedy's gonna bleed over into everything. That's why I was saying like comedy was a way to get away from the mainstream of your job, politics, your bills, your family member, whatever it was. Comedy was that place you went to like, hey, I can't do it, but this gentleman or this lady up on stage, she can do it. Cross that line, be whatever, and hey, get it off my chest. I'm going to laugh at myself. I'm going to laugh at them. I'm going to laugh at us. And it was just like after that, you just felt like when you left, you just felt like, whew, man, that was good. It ain't right. That's what I'm saying. Comedy was always. That's why today I see things and it's just like, man, but that was the time where you allowed the comedian or the comedic relief to be the outlet. Now it's like we want to rein them in, and I get some of them, they whatever, but some of them, the ones that have been doing it masterfully. Now all of a sudden, we want to pull them in and rein it back. Oh, that might make some people a little uncomfortable. But wait a minute, that's what comedy is, though. That's what comedy's been doing. It's it's a big slapstick, and it's kind of like, man, yeah, it's gonna sting a little bit, but look at it. She's really she's really kind of telling the truth here if you think about it. At the end of the day. Somebody's got one of those family members that they're talking about, or that coworker, or that pastor, or whoever it is, girlfriend, husband, whatever.
And see, that's why they suppressed hip hop. That's why they attempt to suppress comedy, because the spoken word, whether it be Maya Angelou, or what's her name, Sonia Sanchez, or whether it be Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, George Carlin, Lenny Bruce, or Damon Wayans,
definitely Damon Wayans.
Or I'm starting to appreciate more the more I listen to him. Gary
Earthquake.
Earthquake. I'm gonna say what's uncomfortable.
Right.
And you know what? And here's the beauty in comedy, just like hip hop. You could, you on Apple Music, hit forward. If you're in your headphones, next song. If you're on the radio, next station. But if you go to a comedy show and you stand up, and I'm offended, damn it, you knew who I was when you got in here.
That's what I'm saying. What did you come? What did you come for? Because you couldn't. I know you didn't come for this cleanness.
And I totally agree with Mo. The stuff we learned about through comedy is, as kids, is underrated. Exactly.
Absolutely.
And it forces you to think.
It's a driving force.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like this to show you how the super comedian Damon Wayans, one of the greatest comedians ever, he recently was on Big Boy's Neighborhood. And they asked him, you ever think you go back on? He said, no, people are too stupid. Because if I have to explain the joke, it's not worth telling.
Yeah.
And what that took me to is a former rapper, he may still consider himself an MC, Lord Jamar.
Oh, wow.
He's falling into clickbait now.
Yeah.
He took a Biggie Small lyric that is right out of comic culture, Richard Pryor. He said, Richard Pryor made this joke. He was showing you how beautiful this woman was, and he took it to the nth extreme. He said, when I first saw you, my first thought was a trick. You look so good, I suck on your...
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's now, in 1975 or 85, the first time I heard it, you went, what? That girl look good. Now they saying Biggie was gay. Knock it off.
Right. Yeah.
Knock it off.
It's like, which one?
It shows you the academic acumen of the culture is ridiculous. Do we want people to be using the N-word? Do we want people to be using the F-word recklessly? Do we want people to be calling women bees and things of that nature? No, we do not.
Right.
But everything in the history of the world is presented with a pure heart.
Yeah, exactly. It had a time and place. It was the place that was just, it was like those little, you had placement, these little bombs would go off here and there. You laugh at it, maybe nobody laughs at it, you move on from it. Or even the comedian telling the joke, they be like, what's wrong? Y'all boo me that, but that was the kind of interaction that was, and you get back on track. And you move on from it. That's why I said we used to let the comedian give us the relief, and now all of a sudden, that's offending somebody. Oh, that's a little too close. So I'm like, but that's what you went to these shows for.
Exactly. I didn't go to a Paul Mooney show not to hit the N-word. I ain't hear a Paul Mooney show not to hit making fun of white people.
If you go to Paul Mooney, you're in the wrong place already.
Yeah, you're in the wrong place if you're sensitive.
Oh yeah.
It's just ridiculous, man. I mean, the world is ridiculous now, and comedians like this, brother.
Yeah, because it's almost like the generations, even I guess behind us and current and before. It's always like somebody has this idea that, well, we could do that a little bit better, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Why? What is it? I mean, it's got us this far. What's happening? I don't understand. I mean, this is why we put those comedians out front like that.
Exactly, man. And it's just we like him. He walked us through without saying, I was young when I had this son, but if you got a 13-year-old son and a 31-year-old son, you had that boy when you was in your teens.
Do math. There's no need for again, if I gotta explain the joke.
And then you got a 13-year-old bougie son, and your whole family understands that this dude is way out there.
Because obviously, because you had him at a time where you were putting things in place to be successful, or just have things that were being provided to them that were maybe not being provided to you. You didn't want that to be something that reoccurred again, so you put them in a different situation.
Exactly.
But you didn't let them get too far from like knowing, like, okay, I'm still Mufasa out here.
Exactly. Hey, don't make me put these paws on you,
right?
Boy,
don't let this gated community fool you now.
Right. And it's been times that people have tried me because look, I'm familiar with that. I was born on the west side of Chicago. And for all you people who don't know Chicago, y'all watch the news and hear the south side of Chicago is crazy. And the people from the south side go, I ain't going to the west side.
Yeah.
And then I moved at age 6 off the north to the north side, where people, they literally have a section of town, a section of the north side called Boys Town, where it is LGBTQIE friendly. Yeah. So the north side is affiliated with being soft. And then if you're from the hood, it's white people up there. So that's another soft. So you double soft.
Right.
So there's been times where people have challenged me. And it's a young boy named Ed Brook. He challenged me at work one day. And I literally told him, I said, hey, my man, you got Uncle XYZ age? And he said, yeah. I said, this is what you do. We at my desk. I say, call him and ask him about them Lincoln Park guys. And he said, okay. He called his uncle.
Yeah.
His uncle called my name. Man, this dude named Brian was notorious for busting people in the mouth. And I just looked at him and said, yeah, I'm Brian, Jay. That's me. Exactly. Oh, okay. I was like, yeah.
Right. I mean, like, yeah.
I took more around Chicago. But
no.
I can attest to it.
Yeah.
We didn't hit the west side, but guess what? We drove through O Block and it was no one outside.
I wonder what.
Let me tell you why.
Yeah.
This O Block is right down the street from where President Obama lived.
Oh, they definitely are outside.
Yeah. Ain't nobody outside. Yeah. And it's just like, look. This is how the neighborhood is set up. O Block. That Black History Museum that I was telling you about last week. Obama House. It's a mile.
Literally just a mile right there. Wow.
Half mile is the Black History Museum. The other half mile is where Obama lived.
Ain't nobody outside, man. Ain't nobody
outside right now. And Mo can attest to it. And it's just we got to know who white people were through Robin Harris. I mean Robin Williams. Even though he was still in jokes. We got to know who white people were through George Carlin. We got to know who white people were through.
And it was it all went. I mean, it all went. It meshed. It worked.
It meshed.
It was like, damn. It was one of those things where it's like, we can't, take the gloves off every now and then. Oh, that's just a little too hard. Oh, we can't be. Stereotype. No, stop. That's how you. If we can't laugh at each other, laugh at ourselves,
and that's the problem.
You're offended already. Yeah.
Hey, here go another one. This is how we got introduced to our young fella, Hassan. This is Hassan, people. We'll be right back.
Talking to my cousin, and it's a hallway, right? It's a hallway, and my cousin, it's a hallway. And I'm talking to my cousin, and I look in the hallway. Hassan is in the hallway trying to get my attention. Hassan walking by. Hassan come back by. Hassan, what's wrong, Hassan? He said, Father, I'm jittery, Father. I said, what? He said, Father, I am jittery. I said, Hassan, what you mean you jittery? To my father, they gave me some red substance, Father, that had way too much sugar in it. I said, oh shit. My son ain't never had Kool-Aid before. This that real ghetto Kool-Aid. I know how my cousins make it 2 bags of sugar per quart. I know how they make it. We had to dilute that boy. We had to get some water in that boy's system. We had to dilute him. Okay. So we over there.
Once again, he is threading that needle that takes me back, takes other people back. Hell, people in the audience. Hell, it was just. Matter of fact, had a birthday party just in March for my aunt, and my dad made a comment. He was like, "Oh no, I'm not gonna drink that juice," it was Kool-Aid, but he's like, "Oh no, he got. I know, I ain't constipated. Oh no, it's probably got like 3 bags of sugar. You know, it's like syrup water, man." But that takes me back to the family reunions. That takes me back to the family functions. That takes me back. To the weddings, you know, people that had the punch. You already knew who made. If you had to ask who made the punch, you only had to ask one time. Or even if you just tasted it, you knew who made it. You already knew who made the punch. Or even the tea. The tea was gonna be like served too. So all of this right here just takes me back, man. I can see those family gatherings. I can see those weddings and unfortunately gatherings at the funeral, the dinners after. But you can just see those moments, and it's just like how he's telling these stories, and it's like, man, I'm not the only one, you know.
Yeah. Exactly, man.
Yeah.
And you know what? It was something else. Even though myself, I always said, man, enough of inviting people to the cookout. And you know, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
It's some white people in the audience that now they want to come to the cookout.
Oh, obviously. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
About fried fish, and Hassan was like, no, I like flounder. I don't eat no catfish. He like, no, I'm not eating that.
Said flounder.
Right. He's like, what? And they was like, well, if you don't get your, and this is the beauty of being a member.
Did you shoot my damn aunt?
Yeah. He chewed his front. And you know, as us, you like, you ain't even thought about
Yeah.
somebody grown. But
They don't do that.
like, look, I grew up like y'all.
Right. Exactly.
And that's the beauty in it, man. And again, without saying it, you know, Hassan grew up one way, his daughters grew up a way,
right.
And then Trey grew up a way.
Absolutely.
But guess what? Here's the beauty in this. This comes from a cat who got out the penitentiary in 1996.
Right.
This comes from a cat whose father was a player. This comes from a cat whose mother is an educator. And he's letting you know, hey, man, I've made mistakes.
Yeah.
And I could come, and you could come back from them.
Right.
You know, my cousin Vince used to say this. We used to always say this to each other. God don't make no blanks.
Right.
You good at something.
Right. You just left you with no kind of talent, nothing. Gift. Yeah.
And this is, man, this Hassan, Trey, the daughters, the mother, and his other specials, his father. You know, his father got 4-5 women coming in the crib. And he's showing you, some people, you glorifying drug dealer. No, he's telling you what it looks like and why drug dealers did what they did.
Yeah.
And how you end up there again. I'm gonna make you laugh at the ugliest things in life.
Yep.
We're gonna enjoy this, and white folks, I'm gonna welcome y'all in, and white communities, black folks, welcome y'all in. Like
because again, it was one of those things where if we can't laugh at ourselves, we know these things exist. What's the point? Laugh at each other. You move on. You don't harp on it. You don't beat them down with it. Exactly. You just, hey, I experienced the things you did. Oh, you used it. And then next thing you know, oh, let me see your playlist. You know, you might have to say it goes and it goes in the movies and the song. It all is woven together eventually at some point. But yeah, we don't let the comedian drive anymore. We don't let the comedian do what he or she is there to do. And that's to, hey, I'm just messed up as much as y'all messed up.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna put fun at y'all first, and then I'm gonna incorporate you into these jokes. But it's just that was the time where we're gonna go see somebody. We're gonna forget about the bills. We're gonna forget about the trauma and stress that's happening right now. That's why you went to comedic shows. That's why you went to watch a comedy movie or something. Like, you need a laugh. You don't need hell. You might laugh so hard you might be crying.
Yeah,
and there's gonna be some moments in that comedy where, hey, there's gonna be some serious moments. There's gonna be some tension there, because it just all needs to get out. It all needs to be told, and then you go back to laughing again. You know, it's like those old. I think they have names, but it's just like those comedy masks. One's sad and crying, the other one is happy.
Yeah, tears of clown.
Yeah, it's like, so you've got those images there. That's what comedy does.
It does, man. And another dude who's good at it is Jeff Foxworthy, man.
Oh, absolutely. Oh,
Jeff
God.
Foxworthy, he
Blue collar comedy.
He tied in black culture to white culture, and rednecks is just like black folks.
That's what
man.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
it's a beautiful art.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand why. But actually, I do, because the people at the top, they don't need working class people to start communicating again.
Yeah. Oh no. No.
Guy who died today.
Matter of fact,
today.
It's like a running to. Oh, so what? Now, what were you saying?
I said, guy who died today, Sly Stone. He tied people together.
Oh, absolutely.
Music, comedy, music, entertainment. There's no such thing as a black movie.
Exactly.
A white movie.
Exactly.
You know,
but like you said before, when you and Doc were growing up, the music didn't have a genre. You were just listening to it.
You just, me and Mo
like, who is this?
We were talking today about how when you listen, I don't like music from the 80s because I don't want to hear nothing synthesized. I grew up with Tower of Power. I grew up with the Doobie Brothers when they was hitting that drum and they was hitting that guitar. And I grew up with Sly Stone, and I grew up with James Brown, and I grew up with Ohio.
It was just music. I mean, look at Woodstock. Woodstock was that compilation, or the one we covered, but the one that was kind of quiet we didn't know about. But Woodstock, they just there listening to music. Here it was.
Hey man, I remember. I know all the words to Captain and Tennille songs. I know all the words to some Bee Gees songs.
Hey, that's just what it was. That's what's on the radio.
And if it wasn't for rap, if it wasn't for music videos, you ain't no way in hell you tell me Daryl Hall and John Oates wasn't black.
Right.
So
the only reason in my head, because you had music videos. So for me, it was like, you obviously already know this guy ain't black. But I can imagine growing up then, oh man, this dude, who's these cats? You know, you don't know.
Hey, I bet you it's still some black people in this world that don't know Boss Skaggs ain't black.
Right.
I bet you still.
Hey, Boss Skaggs, we getting down, man.
As recently as 2 years ago, I told this woman that song Brandy is about a dog.
It is. It's about a dog. Yeah. Yeah, it's about a dog. The funny thing is, I was just singing it the other day.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
Life without music, a mistake. Yeah, man.
I don't know how people say, oh, I don't listen to music. How not? What are you talking about? Like, what is your brain doing? How did you not unlock that part of your brain? What is going on? Like, what? I don't know.
Unless I finally get off my black behind and learn how to do it, I will die wishing I would have learned how to play the saxophone. If I ever get married,
you still got time?
Yeah, like I said, if I ever get married, I want my wife for the first birthday or our first anniversary, buy me a saxophone and get me up off my ass.
Yeah.
Because Beautiful Things by John Coltrane.
Oh.
That's the greatest song ever made.
Off the Blue Train album?
Man, that song. John Coltrane is the first musician that I heard words without words.
Yeah, the way he would play his notes, even at a young age.
And man, it's just comedy. It's the same way. If you close your eyes and listen to Mitch Hedberg, if you close your eyes and listen to I think it's last Jeffrey Wright. If you close you don't see the color of their skin. You just hear what they're
Comedy
saying.
is taking you,
And this brother right here, Ali Siddiq, and he has his friend named Marcus D. Wiley. Brother, if you haven't heard of Marcus D. Wiley,
I do. Now I have heard of Marcus D. Wiley. I heard it had that name.
Man, he has this special that was produced by Ali Siddiq, and it's called something about marriage or something. Man, that brother walked you through how he met his wife, how he courted his wife, how he got married, how he almost got divorced, and how when his career took off, his wife took him back, and he's been on the top since. What's this? Boney James, one of my favorite saxophone. Yeah,
Boney James is crazy. Boney James, it's funny. It's funny he said that because Boney James definitely is deep in that black culture music. He loves to take instrumental, or a lot of guest features on his albums too. He's got a new one out that I've been playing, but Boney James is definitely right there in that line. He is in that line.
What's up, Knox? What's good, brother? It's good to see you, man. Thank you for the support. Hit that like, hit that share, tell a friend, subscribe if you haven't. If you're watching on BS3, please subscribe. If you're watching on the End of the Bench, if you haven't subscribed, please do. We doing big things on both networks. We sister networks, and we're going to continue to bring you quality information, quality entertainment, and quality sports, entertainment, news, what have you, every single day of the week. Thank you for tapping in. But yeah, man, Boney James is a monster, man. He's a monster. And you know, the beautiful part about comedy and music, and comedy and music on every level, you usually fall on your face and trip over the next great thing. That's the beauty in it, man.
Now, I was just going to say real quick, which I know this is not anything new, but and I noticed Jamie Foxx did it on the last one he just did. Wasn't it a thing to kind of have intermission at comedy, and you would have like jet music playing in between? You would have like artists come out, and I remember seeing something like that.
Yes. Or most, like when you go to a concert, whether it be R&B, rock, rhythm, blues, whatever, a comedian traditionally opens up and warms up the crowd, loosens you up.
That's what I thought.
You loose, your mind is free, and then bam, it's going down.
That's what I thought. I felt like that was a thing that I've seen.
Yeah, man. That's like, hey, man, I'm old enough to remember intermission at a movie, and you would see a cartoon. You could be watching Friday the 13th. Then you see another good movie on the back end, but in the middle they shows you while you went to pee. They showed you 3 or 4 cartoons, and you went and got some more popcorn, and you sat back down, watch the next movie.
Watch the next one.
Exactly, man. And the more we get away from honest expression, look, man, ain't nobody see. We got so many. The internet has ruined life so much. Shock jock is the way to go. I'm gonna do something so ridiculous.
Right.
Pay attention to me. Hey, man. Recently, I forgot who said it, man. He said, man, you can do what you want to do in this comedic thing. He said, sensation will make you pay attention. Spectacular will make you come back.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
He said, hey, if you put on a spectacular show, they coming back.
You got to see him again. You got to see him again. Yeah.
Who coming back?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like we were saying, man, you stumble upon great comedians, Marcus Wiley, Bruce, Earthquake. You ain't getting no commercials for these people. Mitch Heddenberg, Jeffrey Wright. I mean, I think that Nathan Wright or Jeffrey Wright, whichever one. He just had this. You don't see them in movies and TV, and all of a sudden you just stumble upon them, and then you go see them and you're in love with them, and that's the beauty in music. Like I remember that movie Mo Better Blues. At that time, only thing I knew was John Coltrane because I love the saxophone. That and Chuck Mangione feels so good because that was the year. 79, 80. That's the year that
that's huge.
Yeah,
I mean, that song is funky. It's a funky song.
Yeah. And man, next thing you know, I watch Mo Better Blues because Spike Lee is the thing at the time, and Denzel Washington is this new guy who the whole world is in love with.
Yeah.
And next thing you know,
that was before Malcolm X, right? Mo Better.
Yeah, that was before Malcolm X. And then he says 2 words that made me fall in love with jazz music. Art Blakey.
Oh man, Art Blakey, man, the drummer. Oh, cold blooded, baby, cold blooded. Blue Note album, Blue Note Records. Yes, sir. Man. Yes, sir. There's a documentary on Netflix about I can't think of his name. Morgan. They call him. Oh, they call me Morgan. I think it's Joe Morgan, but I think it's called They Call Me Morgan. You should check that out too.
Check it out tonight. I'm gonna check it out tonight. Today's my off day. I'm on it.
Yeah, I'll try to find it. I think it said They Call Me Morgan, but I think it's about Joe Morgan. He's a saxophone.
Okay, I'm on it, man. And it's just hey man, comedy is the entertainment at its finest. It's the best thing happening, and that's what the people at the top, they don't need us relaxing. Because if I stop realizing that you're not black, I'm gonna start realizing that you are a human being.
It's called I Call Him Morgan.
Okay, I'm on it. I'm on it tonight. I
think where I saw it was on Netflix. Hopefully it's still on there. Maybe you can find it, but it was
one way or another, I will see it. If I have to dig it up on YouTube, I will see it.
Yeah. It's called I Call Him Morgan. Yeah.
Yep. And that's what I'm saying, man. When you listening to these people tell these jokes, and you like Gary Owen, when you find out he from a trailer park and his father was not the coolest guy and his mother was cool, and then she married a bigot, and then his brother ended up strung out on drugs. He's like, oh, Gary Owen got more in common than
got a lot going on, man.
Yeah. He went to the Navy.
You got a lot going on.
I fell in love with Gary Owen on the Pivot podcast. You know why? They asked him, hey, Gary, what made you start liking black women? He was like, I don't know, man. He's like, shit, I was watching Different Strokes, just like y'all, and started liking Janet Jackson. He said, the same reason I like black women, it's the same reason dudes become gay. You just wake up one day and you want to kiss a dude, and I wanted to kiss Stalin from Good Time. I was like, my man.
Hey, I don't have it. There's no driving force behind it. This
is what I am. And again, and I say, like, people think because my program is community focused, like I say every day, I'm focusing on my community because
right.
If you fix my community, there's never been an instance in which our community got better and the rest of the country didn't get better with us. So if we continue that trend, a rising tide lifts all boats. Well, let's be the tide. And so when I say that, that's not to exclude anybody else. It's just I'm trying to get us as much Advil and Excedrin as I can. Because if you watch that Tylenol special on Netflix,
I haven't seen it yet. But the funny thing is, I do remember that as a kid growing up, and that's how we got the childproof tops on the bottles. I do remember that. And I was just
imagine living in Illinois.
Oh,
that happened right up the road. 15 miles up the road. 15 miles up the road. So, but again, man, it wasn't nobody in Illinois going, well, only white people gonna die from eating that. No.
Right.
Everybody going, if you take Tylenol, you might die.
You're done. Yeah.
So, man. And again, man, Ali Siddiq is an excellent comedian. Ali Siddiq did a great job entertaining people.
Yes.
And once we get to the point, shout out to Dave Chappelle. I know Dave Chappelle had absolutely nothing to do with this, but Dave Chappelle is a trail reblazer because he said, I'm not gonna not tell these jokes.
Right.
He said, I'm following them. And other people are following them. Look, if you're not trying to be malicious, man, the funniest joke I've heard in the last 10 years that was not in a comedy special and was on TikTok. This sister was like, if you really like me, you're gonna have to take me on a boat ride. And this white dude popped up and said, we tried that before, y'all didn't like it. Make up your damn mind. I laughed out loud for at least 20 minutes, man. He said, "Make up your mind."
But again, that's what I'm saying. We can't laugh at these things. We know the severity of it, but it's like
exactly.
Okay,
but we gonna laugh. Man.
You got it. Thank you.
Funny,
it's just like Issa Rae when I was watching Insecure. I think it was the first season, and the guy walked up to her. He's like, "Why don't they get in the water?" She's like, "Slavery."
Exactly.
Because they were at the beach. They were at the beach, and she's like, "Why are you not getting in the water?" He's like, "Slavery. Trauma."
Exactly. I mean, another hit off Issa Rae when she was trying to tell a girl, "Stop boning everybody," and she went on stage and rapped "Broken Pussy."
Yes,
I was done. And she said, hey, and they was like, "Man, that's the joint. That's the joint." And she said, "That's about me, bro. If your friends can't make fun of you,
that's what I'm saying, man.
It's friends and neighbors. Another and what we've been trained to believe, another white show, but Friends and Neighbors is totally relatable. I don't care what coach, man. Hey, it's this one instance in Friends and Neighbors. Funniest line in the show so far, season 1. It shows how he worked his way up to the top.
Yeah.
He catch his black homie sleeping with his wife, and then they become a couple, and his homie's still trying to be his homie. He took the L to keep his kids sane. So his kids thinking he left.
They think he left.
And his boy was like, "Look, man, I'm just trying to make things right. You know, let me know if I can do anything for you." He said, "Don't worry about it, man. If I find somebody who needs their wife fucked, I'll call you." What's that? No, this is insane, but it's dope, man.
But
man, if we can laugh at the most painful things in life, and we can realize comedy is about humanity.
Life goes on, man.
Life goes on. Ali Siddiq did that for us. Ali Siddiq is one of the best comics going. And if you haven't seen this, even if you have seen it, do me and Ali Siddiq a favor. Go to YouTube. If you've seen it already, what I want you to do is what do you say? Most say classic line. Yes. What I want you to do is hit that like, comment on his YouTube, fast forward it to the end, let the last 30 seconds play so he get the whole play. Hey, and if you're gonna do that for Ali Siddiq, you might as well do that for BS3 at the end of the bench too. Like, fast forward to the end, comment, game over. But with that being said, we're gonna do the ratings. We always do the ratings on this show. That's what we do, even with the other dudes, you know.
Yeah, those guys.
They holding us back.
Yeah, man. They don't let us shine out here, man.
They don't let us shine, the other two dudes. But you know,
we were writing the contract anyway. So.
Right. We Shaq and Kobe, they like Horace Grant and Brian Shaw.
Yeah.
No, we Pippen and Jordan. Ain't no big me, little you.
Man. Pippen and Jordan. Yeah.
But on the serious side, give me your rating and then we'll shut this thing down. Rating for this. 5 stars. And anybody who listening, put it, if you're watching, wait till the show and put in how many mics or stars you give it after the show is over. That way we can keep this show on the algorithm. He said the other guys
are fired.
Like, get rid of them bumps.
Out of here.
Dead weight.
Get him out of here. I have to give this a 4. I mean, it was, like I said, I had never heard of him, but with comedy, I'm always willing to give people a chance because I don't watch it as much as I used to. So this is definitely, like I said, my YouTube algorithm was going crazy after I watched this one. So yeah, I'll definitely be tuning into some other ones. I don't know if there's a particular order I need to watch them in, but
they all good.
Yeah,
they're all good. Hey, just for heads up, it is a particular order, but I don't remember the order.
I can look it. I'm sure IMDb they'll have like a rule.
Yeah. My man Ray Cab gave it 5. 4 mics. I'm gonna give it 5. I'm gonna give it 5 just because I came in there like we always say. How did you come into the program and how did you leave? I'm gonna give it 5 mics. The reason I'm gonna give it 5 mics, because you liked it, and comedy ain't your.
That's not even my thing.
This dude could take you from a 2.5 mic on an average to a 4 mic. That means this is a 5-night performance.
Yeah.
And for future references, this is the only comic I've ever come across, and he would have to come on here or come to the end of the bench. Check your man out, Ali. Yeah, assalamu alaikum, brother. But he would have to say it. He is the first comedian I've ever seen to do a series. All of his comedy specials, they start from when he was a little boy until he got ready to go to jail. When he went to jail, when he got out to becoming a comedian, he got 4 parts. And then this is part 1 of 4 as well.
Okay, so he's got a whole different story.
He got another story coming.
Series of stories,
Yeah, so he's the only comedian I ever seen do this. So I'll come back and watch it and rate it. Yes, thank you. Nice, thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody who's supporting us, whether it be BS3 or be End of the Bench Media. We have a myriad of shows. We have talk shows. They have sports shows, woman and man commentary, and we have the same thing. I have a community empowerment show called A Few Minutes with H-Rap on a daily basis. I have a program called Rapping with H-Rap, where I do one-on-one interviews. I've had professional basketball players, former heavyweight champion James Toney, professional football players, college all-stars, Scoop Jackson as a writer, so forth and so on. And I primarily try to focus on everyday people because our elders have wonderful stories that we continue to overlook. And tomorrow will be the 3rd episode of my favorite show on my network. It is called The Chief Seats. And it is just me, Mo, and we're going to have our friend from North Carolina, Poetic Sins, tap in on a regular basis because we want a woman's perspective. And we're going to talk about a myriad of things, whether it be pop culture. Basically, the call sheet is The Chief Seats, where conversation meets culture. And if you like this, continue to subscribe to BS3, continue to subscribe to the End of the Bench Media, and continue to support. If you're tired of mainstream media feeding you nonsense and the executive producer dancing in your videos and interrupting.
No Diddy.
THOB. Look at that right there. BS3 and right there. TEOB. With that being said, this is H-Rap B. That's my main man, Wilkes. We will be better than the other 2 dudes next week, too. From what I understand, we are going to review the new Taraji P. Henson. As far as we know, the #1 movie on Netflix as we speak, it is called Thrall. Watch that next week, ladies, gentlemen, haters, and better friends. Come in. Remember, it is not just us talking. We want you guys to interact with us. We need you guys. We need you guys. We need you guys. With that being said, 2 fingers, 1 word. He Wilkes, I'm Rap. We are out.